title of this video is Don't Die with Your Music Still in You. And it's really about the frustration that comes and the feeling of having a lot that you want to share and express, but not actually managing to get it out of yourself. And I share this from painful personal experience and extensive personal experience. And whether this video in and of itself is mainly to myself and from myself, and if anyone else benefits along the way, well and good. Something that I've noticed is when we put, I'll just share my own experience so that it's quite specific. So at the start of the year, I started a 100 days of content challenge, because I was planning to post or write something every single day, and I got to day 23 and then I stopped. And the reason that I stopped was mainly because of the format that I was sharing in, which was writing on Instagram mainly. It was my intention to kind of vary it and explore expressing on different platforms as well. Like, I knew I wanted to come into videos more so, and blog posts and move out of social media, but because I was also busy with clients and with creating websites, I ended up defaulting and doing what was easier, what was known to me, which was writing on Instagram. And what I found was that it was taking me just so much time, and it was actually a really good catalyst to get me off social media, because in doing it so intensively, like posting every single day for 23 days, I got to see how many hours and how much energy it took, and how draining, and how it really impacted on my nervous system, on my mind as well, from being on social media so much. It kind of just felt too agitating, I suppose, or too, you know yourself, from being on social media too much. So I stopped that challenge, and as in a good part of it was that I did get even busier in my business as a result of having posted so much on social media. So it's not to say that it doesn't work, but there's a lot of things there for me around, which I'll I suppose rant about another day, but just around writing with the intention of getting clients versus writing and expressing for the sake of expressing. And when you're a business owner, that it changes, because when you didn't have a business and you wanted to share something, there was nothing else going on in your head other than wanting to share and maybe uplift others, or maybe share with friends and family what you're actually doing. But then when you have a business and you start to learn about marketing and different things like that, it kind of clouds how freely or how you express, and whilst it makes it a little bit murky, in my opinion, in terms of the intention and stuff, and so there is a difference in a way to just expressing for the sheer, from the point of view of something, feeling inspired to share and to create, and to, like, what it feels like is like something that's coming through you and is kind of channeled out or something like that, in terms of what's real for you, and then the resonance of that can be helpful to others as well, and it's done from a more pure energy perspective. So my own experience recently has been that business things were busy, and I didn't need to post on social media, and also obviously clearly got quite saturated from it and didn't want to do it, mainly, and what has happened is there's a frustration within me because of the joy of expressing, the joy of sharing, the joy of creating. It's not having an outlet, and so I'm not I'm trying to process and articulate my point at the same time, but perhaps it doesn't have to be fully formed, and this is the joy of, I suppose, one other point to mention, which is when I was on social media, I was writing and agonizing, I suppose, over the words. I'd have quite a strong relationship with, I like writing, I like picking I like phrasing things, and I suppose things being quite clear and things like that, but it takes a lot of time. Whereas video, you're seeing video takes less time. Still, obviously, thought needs to go into things, but I learn a lot from watching people on video. I learn a lot from their authenticity and their thoughts, even if, and them showing up as themselves, there's benefit in that as well. And that's something that I'm mentioning here, is that I'm going to change mediums, I suppose, between writing over to video, for my own experience, to see if this is a better medium for me. So a few kind of tips, apart from the phrase, don't die with your music still in you, and that feeling, well, of not expressing, of not actually getting your music out into the world, your I don't know, your essence, your medicine, not getting your kind of message, your voice and purpose and stuff, not kind of getting an avenue for expression. It does feel really bad, and really that frustration builds and grows. And as a tip, I suppose, something that I often share with clients and with myself really is, when we're, it is basically, come out of your head and come into your heart, come into your heart, come into your body, and really tune in and feel into someone that you want to speak to, in your writing or in your video, and just speak to that one person and create without attachment, create without expectation for anything, create for the sheer experience of creating and expressing, and also trusting that, what's coming to you is the right thing to share, and that it will be of benefit to someone in some way, so yeah, that's the second part, which is come out of your head and into your heart. And the other piece that I wanted to share in here is, like, be a contributor, not a guru. So it's like, to the conversation. So it's like, there's never going to be a point when you feel like, yes, I'm a guru now, I actually know everything, I know enough, I'm as good as I can ever be in this topic, so I feel validated and ready to speak about it. It's not how it works. Instead, just see yourself as a contributor to the conversation, and that, share your journey instead of waiting to be this finished product. Share as you go along. I think we learn really well from people who are just one or two steps ahead of us. It doesn't have to be from people who are at this finish line, because they're trusting that what comes through us is our thing to share. So that's me for today. Take care.